Right now on the National Weather Desk, Sarah's significant shift. There are changes in the tropical storm's path.
Now, as it moves over the Yucatan Peninsula, it is expected to weaken now.
Wildfire woes. The stubborn flames are still burning in the northeast.
It's raising the question as to what role climate change may have.
Dire drought. There's a nationwide need for rain.
That's where we have extreme drought conditions right now.
Sasquatch sightings, what some people in South Carolina say they saw in the woods.
Made perfect sense that a deer hunter would have that kind of an encounter.
And watch a meteorologist shred the mountain and his forecast all at once.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. Big changes this morning in the forecast for Tropical Storm Sarah. It is now not expected to strengthen into a hurricane as it heads towards Florida's Gulf Coast next week. But this morning, it is causing big problems in Central America. Meteorologist Jennifer Collins is tracking Sarah for us.
It is spreading heavy rainfall. It is spreading heavy rainfall across parts of Central America, including Honduras, Belize, and parts of the Yucatan Peninsula at this hour. This will be an extreme rainfall event for this area as it is expected to slow down and meander in the Western Caribbean here before moving its way onshore into Mexico. Now, as it moves over the Yucatan Peninsula, it is expected to weaken now as that westward movement has continued, now expected to become a depression by the start of next week. But many of our global models continue to bring whatever residual moisture is associated with it off to the northeast over the next few days. So that increase in moisture associated with the system will enhance our rain chance as another cold front moves in next week.
And many parts of the Philippines are underwater today after a powerful typhoon struck the northern part of the Southeast Asian nation. Now, drone video shows a bridge right here that collapsed in the powerful winds and also pounding rain. This was the fifth major storm to strike the Philippines in less than a month. And a new storm could form into another typhoon before hitting the Philippines on Sunday. The wildfire along the New York-New Jersey border is still burning at this point. It's already scorched 5,000 acres across both states. Officials say they are making headway on the fire, which is now 75% contained. But firefighters are still attacking the blaze from the ground and also the sky. The Jennings fire is just the latest in a string of natural disasters to strike the Northeast this year. Lee Waldman has more.
A wall of fire, the air thick with smoke.
Very, very scary, almost surreal.
To be honest with you, we're ready to go now.
Just up the street on Cliff Road, where the sound of wood chippers and chainsaws cutting broken trees is constant, all 12 homes, including John Townsend and his wife Riley Kellogg, evacuated.
When we evacuated on Sunday, we didn't know if we were coming back to a home or not.
Further towards the town of Greenwood Lake, New York, a controlled burn alongside the road aims to limit the fire's spread. Overhead helicopters attack the fire from the sky.
As crews work to get the Jennings Creek wildfire under control for people living in the heart of it, they say this is just the latest natural disaster in their own backyards. For some, it's raising the question as to what role climate change may have.
I think that the disasters that we've been experiencing, I hope that they really bring home to people what's going on a global scale.
Kellogg pointed out a home destroyed by a microburst in May and the severe drought conditions with no end in sight. Mayor Tom Howley says Greenwood Lake is not used to contending with fires of this magnitude.
We get snow, we get rain, we get fires, but we don't really get extremes. This is the most extreme I've seen.
The U.S. Drought Monitor released its weekly update yesterday. Meteorologist Steve Rudin shows us what parts of the country are still exceptionally dry.
Finally, we had much needed rain last night. Some of it continues to linger across the mid-Atlantic, but not making much of a dent in the drought monitor. Here's our updated version. It does include parts of the D.C. metro area. Head over to extreme western Maryland and West Virginia, western Pennsylvania and Ohio. That's where we have extreme drought conditions right now. A little bit farther down to the south, the deep south, we're looking at drought conditions across parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Off toward the northwest, head over to North and South Dakota and eastern Montana. That's where we have extreme drought that continues. The same for extreme western Texas, with finally some wet weather on the way over the next several days. Notice the shades of blues and purples. That's the heavier rain expected. And we could be looking at some wet weather, even some tropical moisture moving into late next week across the mid-Atlantic. I'm meteorologist Steve Rudin from WJLA in Washington, D.C.
And out west, ski season is getting an earlier than expected start, with several resorts opening this week in Oregon and also Utah. In California, recent snowstorms could kick off the season sooner than expected as well. Bradley Helbly has more.
A snow-covered Olympic Valley showing us signs the ski season is just around the corner.
It is snowing actually on me. I'm not sure if you can see it on my hair, but it is coming down.
Several storm systems over the past few weeks bringing in wet and heavy snow, creating ideal conditions for a solid base layer.
We could see up to 6 inches.
Palisades spokesperson Patrick Lacey says the resort expanded its snow cannon operation and added more snowcats to its fleet to put snow where it needs to be to speed up the process. So far, the pre-ski season is off to a great start.
Last year it was all man-made snow, and we did have the temps, but we just didn't have that natural snowfall. But Mother Nature is providing for us right now.
Back down the mountain at Land Park Ski Shop, it's that time of year staff prepare for, unveiling the latest products to hit the market.
Right now, we've got all of the brand new 2025 snowboards, boots, bindings, skis, boots, all the outerwear in stock.
The ski shop staffing up and bracing for a wave of eager customers, noting shopping in person can help get you exactly what you need and the right fit.
Several ski resorts are already open in Utah as well, and that gave Salt Lake City meteorologist Chase Thomason a chance to multitask, hitting the slopes while delivering his forecast.
Bryan Head and Brighton, they are now open. Tomorrow, though, Solitude opens for the first time this season. Next week, we do have a couple more resorts opening up, including Alta and Park City. Then, Thanksgiving and Black Friday. We have Snowbird. We have Snow Basin. Woodward Park City. So everything is just right around the corner. And we've had some pretty decent snow so far this season. Take a look. Alta and Snowbird with 44 inches. Here at Brighton, Solitude, over 30 inches of snow so far this season. And again, a little bit more coming our way just in time for the weekend.
Well, look at that. Pretty impressive. You can watch the entire clip right now. We posted it on both our Facebook page and also our YouTube channel as well. Some dicey weather could be heading towards parts of the Midwest, but that could be a week or more into the future. So how can you prepare when a weather pattern shift is on the way right now? Meteorologist Will Haney says one way is keep an eye on the forecast and avoid clicking questionable headlines.
It's not long until your lawn may be looking something like this. Brr, suddenly got a little chill. Well, we're looking ahead to a pattern shift mid to late next week that could bring our first real taste of winter, including snow, to parts of the Midwest. As the system lifts out of the plains, lake effect is increasingly likely towards the end of next week and into the weekend before Thanksgiving. By the way, it's totally normal for us to start seeing our first lake effect events as we get towards the end of November. You may have seen chatter about this upcoming dose of winter weather on social media. A gentle reminder here, think before you hit that share button. Posts like this on social media mentioning deadly flurries or a killer blizzard have one sole purpose: to generate fear in order to get more shares. They often include highly speculative information and the worst case scenario. So let's talk about what you can expect from our forecasts. In that 7 to 10 day window, we're starting to get a broad overview of the pattern, what sort of jet stream and temperatures we may expect. In that 5 to 7 day window, we'll get our first glimpse at what sort of weather systems we may be dealing with, but their exact track is far from certain. It's in that 3 to 5 day window that track becomes more clear, and therefore our confidence either goes up or down as far as the overall impact. And in that 1 to 3 day range, that's where you start to see us roll out our snowfall forecasts and we hone in on the specifics, the timing of those impacts.
The last of 4 consecutive supermoons peaks later today. The so-called Beaver Moon will be 100% full at 4:29 Eastern, but it looked full last night and will continue through tomorrow night as well. It's a supermoon because the moon's orbit is closer to Earth than usual, making it appear a little bigger and also brighter. And coming up on the National Weather Desk, king tides could impact the West Coast this weekend. We'll show you exactly what they are and what causes them. Plus, tips on how to safely and efficiently use your heater this upcoming winter season.
I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with a look at the Northeast. We have a nice day on tap in the Northeast, but the big weather story will be elevated fire danger. That will continue. Low relative humidities and gusty winds. Any fires that get going can spread rapidly in those sort of conditions. Temperatures today will top out in the 50s. There's an ocean storm that's staying mostly to our east. Best chance for showers will be in eastern Maine. Notice a lot of sun. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Saturday looks mostly sunny as well. It's going to be dry with temps in the 50s and low 60s.
I'm meteorologist Jasmine Lomax with a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. As we head into the day, expect clouds to gradually clear. We'll have a little more sunshine into the afternoon, but it's looking much better on Saturday as high pressure begins to build over the region. You can expect even more sunshine. Temperatures this afternoon will rise to the 40s, 50s, and 60s across the region. Then overnight, we start to cool down with temperatures dropping to the 30s and 40s across the metro.
I'm meteorologist Vitas Reed taking a look at your southeast forecast highs for the day. It's going to be about 61 degrees in Nashville. Birmingham coming in at 66, 67 in Charleston, Jacksonville 70 degrees. You get those 80s down in Tampa and West Palm, but it looks like a front that's going to be pushing through will continue to head out over the Atlantic, and as it does so, it's going to clear the skies out. Pretty good area of high pressure settling in over the southeastern half of the United States, giving us nice clear skies as we go through Friday and into Saturday. Looks like a nice bright weekend ahead.
The National Weather Desk.
A collection of fiery dawns from Leesburg, Virginia to Syracuse, New York. More of a magenta hue in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, but tinted peachy orange in part of Nevada. With Thanksgiving less than 2 weeks away, these turkeys seem to be laying low, free as, well, birds in the wild. And a rainbow decorates this lake and the sky above in Northern California.
For more content like this, subscribe to the National Weather Desk's YouTube channel.
As we mentioned, the full moon will peak late today and into tomorrow. For people living along the West Coast, that means king tides are on the way. Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell explains king tides, their dangers, and when they are expected to show.
We are heading into king tide season. King tides just refer to the highest tides of the fall and winter, just coinciding with the big full moons and the storm season. That's when the waves really do tend to get pretty big and come crashing into the shorelines here in western Washington. We're about to head into this pattern of the highest tides of the month of November, again coinciding with the full moon as we slide into this November weekend. We get a little bit of coastal flooding every time this happens, but in general, our infrastructure is built expecting the king tides. They only cause significant flooding when they also coincide with big storm systems coming through. And remember, the king tides, just like any tides on the tide table, are foreseen well in advance. You can see where they're going to happen months and months before they do show up. The areas of low pressure, however, a lot trickier. You have to know exactly when those will be coming through. We do have an area of low pressure big storm center coming through this weekend, so that's going to coax the water levels up even a little bit higher year. And we have had some recent rounds of heavy rain. More to come with that area of low pressure as we head into the weekend. And all of that combined can compound the flooding and take what should be just some minor tidal overflow to more extreme flooding. A look at some of the high tides we're expecting as we do head into this November weekend. These are just for Seattle. You can find similar tide tables on the University of Washington's College of the Environment site called Sea Grants. It has the king tides for all kinds of shoreline locations around the Pacific Northwest listed there. You can see we're going to be well over 12 feet around the shoreline, even in Seattle, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday morning. A similar round of king tides ahead for the month of December. For the National Weather Desk, I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell.
As the country prepares for a new administration, many are concerned about the future of government agencies like NOAA. Before the election, Emily Gracie spoke to the former head of NOAA to learn about the important functions of the organization and how it may actually be impacted.
President Nixon was so irritated at Wally Hinkle, who was, I think he was like pretty outspoken about opposing the Vietnam War, and was the Secretary of Interior. And so Nixon scratches out Interior and writes Commerce. NOAA's existence has never been authorized by Congress. NOAA was created with an executive order. A lot of people are like, why is NOAA in the Department of Commerce? Why isn't an independent agency like National Science Foundation or NASA or something like that? Well, those independent agencies have what they call is an organic act, which is a piece of legislation that authorizes their existence. So it's not like NOAA isn't authorized to exist. There's just no legislation authorizing it, but everything that NOAA does is authorized.
What would you tell NOAA employees or people that are even managing budgets within NOAA right now who are kind of freaking out?
I wouldn't worry about it. Your mission is way too essential to the U.S. economy and the safety of all the citizens. So, you're not going anywhere. Not to mention all these constituents that you serve also happen to be voters of members in Congress. So, you're going to have bipartisan support from Congress. I think a lot of these sort of vision documents need to be just looked at as vision documents. Like this is not like an implementation plan. This is kind of like a high level vision of, what it could be like, something to think about. And so it's always like you've got these visions way over here on one side, you may have visions way on the other side. Reality of what you can actually pull off is probably in the middle.
And there has been talk about a possible sighting of Bigfoot in South Carolina recently. Clara Faith did some digging and talked to a man who's been chasing Bigfoot for years to find out if there could be any truth to the rumors that the creature actually exists.
I have seen plenty of people with big feet, but not Bigfoot.
Newberry County Sheriff Lee Foster may have not seen Bigfoot, but someone in his county claims they did. And TV host Matt Moneymaker of Finding Bigfoot has spent half his life researching the famous creature. Over the last few years, Moneymaker says he has gotten several reports of Bigfoot sightings in South Carolina.
When I got this report from there, it wasn't a surprise. And it being the time of year when there's deer hunters out, made perfect sense that a deer hunter would have that kind of an encounter.
The newest report out of Newberry County came from a hunter who told Matt he spotted Bigfoot near Palmyra on November 2nd. Matt tells me during this time of year, Bigfoot encounters are common.
Bigfoot was there for the same reason that the hunter was there, and it's because of deer. Some people have seen them carrying roadkill deer over their shoulder back to places, finding stashes of dead deer.
Sheriff Lee Foster wants to remind people to be safe because of the fact that it is deer hunting season.
Well, this time of year, if somebody's out there looking for Bigfoot, they very well could run across somebody hunting deer. So you could put your life in danger.
And no matter what you believe, Bigfoot could be lurking out there too.
Well, it's Friday and time for our weekly football forecast. Here's meteorologist Katie Morgan.
We're heading deeper into November, and you know what that means. These games mean that much more. Let's take a look at some of our college matchups for this weekend. We've got a big one in Athens, Georgia. We've got number 6, Tennessee, taking on number 11, Georgia in Athens. As I mentioned, a nice crystal clear night with temperatures in the mid-50s. A great late fall matchup there. We head to the Little Apple now. Manhattan, Kansas. Arizona State in town taking on K-State. Temperatures around 60 at kickoff and a little chilly for those in Boulder, Colorado, with Utah in town taking on the Buffs, and we're looking at temperatures in the mid-40s there. On Sunday, overall, weather's great. Temperatures in the mid-50s here, and sunshine around for the Chiefs in town taking on the Bills in Buffalo. Ravens versus Steelers. Pittsburgh looking good at mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies. We'll say mid-50s at kickoff. And Green Bay in town in Chicago taking on the Bears, and we are looking at temperatures in the mid-50s with sunshine. That's the latest on weather for our football matchups this weekend. Hope you have a great Friday. I'm meteorologist Katie Morgan.
And as we head to break, a flight over Utah's Cottonwood Canyon.
Well, a very good Friday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael, dealing with the clouds across a lot of the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Slow to clear out for the day today. Sunshine out across the plains. High temperatures today across the plains, getting into the low 60s in some spots, but a little cool and damp across the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley today. Tomorrow, we got a few showers starting to sneak their way in across the plains. And as we continue on into your Sunday, most of the Midwest staying dry, but fairly cloudy.
Good Friday morning to you. Meteorologist Chris Uchan. Look at our forecast today across the region, starting off with a bit of a chill in the air, 40s, 50s out the door temperature. The afternoon, sunny skies, low humidity, very nice day. 67 Oklahoma City, around 70 Dallas, New Orleans in the low 70s. We head into the weekend forecast here too, still looking nice, a little cool in the morning. The afternoon, mostly to partly sunny skies. It'll be rain free, a little bit more humidity in the Texas, highs in the 70s and the 80s.
Well, hi there, everybody, and a good Friday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. Out west, Friday will give us a little bit of a respite in terms of a break from the rain in Seattle and Portland, but stormy skies going to head down into the Sierra Nevada. We've got a big area of low pressure curling in that direction. We're going to see some rain around coastal sections of California, like Cape Mendocino and San Francisco, and up over the Sierra, some heavy mountain snow around Tahoe as we head into this weekend. And that's the scene from here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
It's that time of the year when the air develops a piercing chill, and turning on the heater is a must. Meteorologist Joe DiCarlo spoke to an expert about heater safety.
It was kind of chilly last night, so
got it warm up the house.
Philip Goss is a San Antonio homeowner who, like many in our area, turned on his heat for the first time this season.
Everything worked great. Yeah, the heater turned on.
However, when turning on the heat for the first time in several months, you may notice a certain smell.
At the beginning of the winter, you turn on the heater, you'll get a funny smell with it.
Alberto Cruz with Above All Air stresses that it is nothing to be concerned about.
It's perfectly normal, happens a lot. It's just burning off any residual that's left over from the previous year.
The burning smell should not last more than a few days.
It'll run through the system, but within a couple of days, it'll be gone with the smell.
Alberto suggests routine maintenance this time of year.
You do proper maintenance around this time of year, especially with the heaters, because like I said, there can be cracks in the furnace itself. There can be causes for leaks for carbon monoxide.
If you are concerned for any reason, it is best to get someone to check it out.
And we love to share your weather content on the air. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you right back here on Monday.